Team rejectmay up against Boonz Goonz. Let's get ready. It's our first game of the day. The player's about to come on stage. Here you go, you're taking a look at the stage and the players coming out. Team rejectmay representing Japan, and then you've got Boonz Goonz, the Australian.
Love the name. I don't know what this is about, but love the name. Also, I think Australia. I mean, you were a player back then, right?
Yeah.
You know, a decade ago, one of the 7 professional Australian players. So it wasn't too difficult for them to assemble a team. But these individuals here, you know, did some research, and they're pretty good at Dota. Maybe you have a bit more inside info about them.
It's been a while since I've been playing the Australian pubs, but like 3 or 4 years ago, these are the guys. The community's so small, you run into the same players time and time again. Love the muscles coming out from Shag. Absolute beast.
Giga Shag.
Yeah, Giga Shag. There you go. Yeah, I mean, these guys are all like some of the top MMR players. There's been like some small Oz tournaments going on. There's Boonz himself. I actually... Boonz? What's that one about? I actually played a LAN tournament with him like 4 or 5 years ago. So it was Boonz, Black Shaitan, there was a
Ex-Musica, yeah. We were talking about coming here.
Yeah.
He was not on the team? Okay, no, some of the big names.
This was like a local like Melbourne LAN tournament. Ooh. Oh my god, these poses are great. That guy practiced his. Was that a like home run swing or something?
He did, yeah. Hope it's not going to be hit and miss.
No, he was looking. He made contact.
He did, okay.
He's fallen after the Houston Astros World Series champions. There's a reference you won't get, Lacoste.
Definitely not, because I'm not watching that sport. Seems like players are getting ready, and yeah, we can see the teams. So some of the really cool names, I gotta say. You know, baseball dogs. Pretty sure that was him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, baseball's huge in Japan. Like, obviously America known for their baseball, but after America, it's like Japan. Like their baseball league is absolutely massive. People are really big on their baseball. A good name, baseball dogs. What about Boonz Goonz? Any favorite names there?
Boonz Goonz, not chemistry, you know, playing with the name there a little bit instead of having chemistry, but yeah, nothing. I mean, oh, never mind, the Bonzo show. That's a good one. Is that Bonzo the clown?
It should be.
I think there's a cartoon. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's formerly known as Boonz, now Bonzo or Bonzo Show. I love these pictures too. Oh my god, these are absolute classic. These players and teams looking ready to go to battle here. Who looks more intimidating? Like, who looks more ready for this game based on what you're seeing?
The way they entered on stage, I'm probably gonna say rejectmay. Like, they came in with the confidence. They have this home turf advantage.
You weren't impressed enough by Spag with the muscles coming out?
Muscles in Dota, you don't necessarily need to have them. It's good to have this like discipline, workout and everything, but it's about the click sparker. It's about how fast you can click. APM, very important.
You should be flexing your finger muscles when you go out there. Do some little finger shot. I don't know what that looks like. Don't know if that's safe for broadcast.
Gotta be careful which fingers you're using.
Yeah. Oh, they've got papers. Serious business.
Oh, look at this. Look at this guy holding a stack of papers.
They've learned.
Yeah, absolutely. Every single TI, whoever has the bigger stack of papers, they win.
And interesting, so I don't know if we're going to get to see him. The coach of Team Australia, there he is, Danog.
Danog, yeah. Dude.
Friend of ours, commentator at times.
Didn't make it here as talent, so he had to come at the event somehow, offering his coaching services, and now he's there with the team.
Usually it's actually like we're at the bottom of the totem pole. Usually it's you try and play, then you try and coach, and then you cast. Yeah. So he's actually, you know, jumped his way up a bit.
Now AUI, he was a talent, previous TI, and
then he finally escaped and actually, you know.
Then that could be potentially really good for Dan, a good storyline.
We'll see if he's got what it takes to lead Team Australia to victory here. But yeah, we should be getting things underway pretty soon. We'll be covering the draft here and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You mentioned this could be one of the highlight games of today.
It definitely could. I also want to see if they're just going to play their own style completely, or we're going to see some of the stuff that better teams during TI, because TI literally just ended a week 10 days ago, and you know, as you said, there's no new patch. We're still on the same patch, so that means that the people could theory craft. They could take some of the ideas from the better teams and also take it as their own and mold it to make it even better.
It's always a tricky one though, because like, you know, especially looking at a team like Tundra, it's like it works because of how long they've played together. I feel like if you try and copy them, you're gonna like fall on your face.
If you have like position 5 Mirana that doesn't do anything, gets arrow instead of a Starstorm level 1, you could be in a tricky situation, especially if you miss it. But this is the LAN we're talking about. There's not gonna be any kind of delay this time around. Players will be playing with almost no delay, so that means that spells are gonna be easier to use.
That's something Australians are not too familiar with.
Yeah, that could be a problem. Absolutely. What's the lowest ping you can play on?
Well, we have Australian servers, but the problem
no
is
one plays on
most
the
people
server.
play in Southeast Asia servers. So you look, lowest is like from West Coast Australia, you get like 110 maybe. Maybe 90 to 100, but yeah, like from East Coast, from Melbourne and stuff, you're looking at 130, 140.
Yeah, when I'm playing, if I see it go over 30, I'm like, I can feel that. I'm actually, you know, get that 29 or I'm out.
Yeah. I don't think it's, I don't know what Japan ping's like, but I know for them playing on Southeast Asia too, there's a bit of ping, so we'll see some land buff here maybe.
So in the end, it seems like it's gonna be Venomancer on that off lane.
Ah, so support Visage, yeah. Yeah, Toyo Myra is the hard support player, is at least what we've been told. So I play a lot of Visage. I will say these days 5-position Visage doesn't feel the greatest.
I'm thinking, what about some tri-lane? Is that the possibility for rejectmay to run? Sack one of those lanes? Because like historically Visage did work out the best in tri-lane, something that eHome pioneered long time ago. Sven, Lina plus a Visage, but I don't know if it's a best of one, as you said. I don't know if they want to theory craft too much.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps they just need to do something to address this Naga Siren, because it doesn't feel like they've got the best Naga Siren counter, so maybe tri-lane against her is going to be one of their best options.
When I first saw this loading screen, I was like, what the hell is going on? I like it. I don't know what this is, but I like it. And I'm glad this is... I hope we keep this, not just for the dire tide.
That went swimmingly.
No, it definitely has some extra oomph to it.
Prepare
as we
for
get
battle.
into our best of one. Match 2, I think because match 1 is going on separately, off stream or on a different stream. I believe that's TNC Predator against Laffy, I think the Singapore team.
You are correct.
Okay. But yeah, so a couple of games going at once, a lot of Dota, a lot of teams here in Japan, and we're going to see some of those early smoke out plays, wards getting dropped, as doesn't look like anything too unexpected happening with any of these lanes just yet. But yeah, the big question does seem to be, is this going to be like a Visage tri-lane? Is it a support Visage? Because yeah, that's just generally not the role we see this hero in.
Yeah, looking at some of the starting items, Bloodseeker, starting with pretty standard stuff, but what I seen as quick buy was Falcon Blade, not an item you usually see. Doesn't consume much mana. It's all about, like, it's not about the blood right, it's more about him getting to that Maelstrom timing, hitting up the Ancient Creeps, and looking at the Dawnbreaker plus Nyx Assassin. Nothing out of ordinary here. Oh.
They've got the full 5-man squad here with a ward on the high ground. They see everybody and they're going to jump in on Spack. That's welcome to Japan. Say Team rejectmay.
Yeah, that's a great start. And Venomancer getting the first blood. I'm not sure if that's like the hero you want to give first blood to, because usually he dominates the lane. This time around he's playing into unfavorable matchups, something that does have a dispel mechanic, so it could be very annoying for him. I would prefer if it's on someone else, but you know Dota players, they like to take the kills for themselves no matter what.
Yeah, he's a core. He's probably just saying like, guys, it's fine, you know? Got to make sure somebody gets the kill, but does seem to suggest, yeah, good. At least start with the first blood going their way. The Lina Leshrac mid matchup, as mentioned. You kind of feel like this is slightly Lina favored?
Lina favored, yes. That's
slightly or more than slightly?
Depends on the players. I mean, this matchup I would say could go both ways, but if we're talking about two players of equal skill, I would say 55, maybe like up to 60, 40, depends. Leshrac still does fine. Like, you don't stop Leshrac from farming, but because yeah, again, water runes and stuff. Look at my boy Nyx Assassin using that stun early on, and now he's just a creep, not doing anything for almost 20 seconds.
Yep. And he had to come in to block that small camp. He got dewarded, so much of these safe lanes seem to be about, or just side lanes seem to be about controlling those pulls.
Has been killed.
Suwan already forced to use his healing salve, trying to play some dangerous game against Lich. Lich at the early levels, very annoying to deal with. Yeah, we see Zemistry already using his illusions, something Venomancer doesn't like to play into. Stun misses.
Oh, meanwhile though, Toyo, this is the, we talked about the Nyx Dawnbreaker lane.
This is a good trade if he gets the kill. Oh!
Oh, he didn't factor in the heal of the stick. Oh, he gets out of there, Boonzy.
And Bonzo, he will TP back immediately, does not want to give any extra movement speed to Bloodseeker. A bit of a uncharacteristic mistake there from the Bloodseeker, not being able to finish off the kill. It would still be a really good trade, because Bloodseeker would get solo XP, get him closer to level 3. And now on the top lane, Venomancer struggling a little bit with CS, not the highest damage hero. Right now sitting at 6, Naga Siren 10 and 6 denies. We knew that this lane is not going to be easy, even with the first blood going into Venomancer's favor.
Yeah, despite being a Veno against a melee hero, it feels like a lane where Naga is going to free farm, and almost because like Veno doesn't really have any tools that are good against the Naga, I feel like.
No, literally nothing.
A little concerning. I mean, they're going to have to really up the tempo, it feels like, at some point, and try and punish the fact that Naga maybe wants to farm this game, because, yeah, this Naga pick is going to be problematic.
This Bloodseeker will need to carry heavily, and yeah, we see kills all across the board. Zemistry getting the kill on Venomancer, but also a trade kill. Swan getting some revenge here, getting some extra levels for himself. Still, the big problem, the big elephant in the room that is going to be unaddressed is this Naga Siren.
Well, when you're killing the enemy offlaner, you're probably feeling pretty good about how this lane's going already. Despite it being a trade, you're killing the core, and Venomancer does have to be...
Yeah, but if you die multiple times, then it doesn't matter because you're not a core anymore.
then your team's asking you, so why did you take the first blood again? Like, let's go back to the start. But I mean, kill the Visage once more down bottom. The offensive tips coming in. These lanes at least seem to be going pretty well for the Aussies. They're going for another kill up top, but it's Swan on the Marcy who actually gets the better of the trade here, killing the Lich and getting Veno back to safety.
Something that is universal, it's the offensive tips.
Yeah.
You can't take that out from a Dota player. Both stuns actually landing.
Ooh, denied it before he got stunned here, but gets completely zoned out of there. Does have the bottom rune. That got secured by Lord Boonz. Okay.
Gave himself a title, huh? Lord.
I played a tournament with this guy. He's got a lot of confidence. You
That's good to have.
You might say he's a bit cocky, but he's got a lot of confidence.
That's a characteristic you need to have as a Dota player if you want to succeed.
Yeah.
And look at our boy Venomancer struggling here a bit on the top lane, 10 CS. Swan did manage to get a kill on Lich a couple of times. Zemistry understands that they have no stuns left and will TP out.
Yep. Veno has got that fast urn with a raindrop coming out there, so they'd love to find the kill up top to start building up those urn charges. Back at bottom. Bit of a farm game, at least to some extent, as long as the Visage can stay away from the aggression of the Nyx Dawnbreaker.
Dawnbreaker's getting way too much out of this lane. 24 and 8, Bloodseeker sitting at 18. I mean, it comes down to both of these supports on the bottom lane not being too strong in the lane. This is 5 Visage we're talking about. Like, it doesn't matter if this hero is too strong at level 1, level 2, level 3, but once you get to like level 4, level 5, those 2 levels don't really matter to Visage unless you get to level 6, and then that's a big game changer. Spag one more time, we'll drop.
Yeah, they're completely destroying this Lich up top. A trade kill is going to make it worth it though for Boonz Goonz. as the gold is shared, but the XP goes the way of the Naga Siren, and Venom's, his struggles continue up top. They're killing this Lich again and again, but it's still just a Lich.
And also Naga Siren, as you mentioned, is getting some solo XP from that, so that means the Australian guys, they will gladly take that trade anytime. Because that's all you want to have on Naga Siren. Get those illusions maxed out, get your passive maxed out, and then you're going to be able to farm as quickly as possible. And I'm pretty sure they know how good of a Naga Siren game this is.
Yeah, it's one of those, I think a lot of teams, like you've had your drafts, and when you get that perfect Naga pick, it's like, okay, let's just not do anything completely crazy or throwy, and this game, you know, should be 75-80% favored our way.
Absolutely. Oh, this is a big kill if they can get it, but Bloodseeker, way too tanky and Baseball Dogs. He knows how to dodge.
The Carapace, though, that may still be enough. They get the slow, and Baseball Dogs with the Sal buff is going to get just out of there with the help of the Grave Chill. They're still chasing, they still want him. Hammer going to break the Sal.
Another good stun.
Oh, he's still out of there.
No, not in there. He burned. He burned.
Oh, the LSA gets dodged, the TP out from Juice. Oh no, he ulties out.
Juice or Jukes? I don't know what to call him. That was pretty big. Nyx Assassin landing 2 stuns in a row.
Yeah, usually your Nyx is not your reliable stun to initiate, but
it's a better stun right now, Gods. You know, it's not as bad as it was. And mid lane, good rotation here from the Bloodseeker. Still level 5 though.
Oh,
there we go.
The Bonzo Show, as he's now called as well. Setting up another huge stun in the mid lane with the Impale, and they're pressuring this mid tier 1 here with the Edict. Not going to be able to bring it down here as Venoman set up camp, but that's Veno giving top lane free farm to Naga Siren.
He can't pressure anymore in the top, and now the lanes seem to be crumbling. Nyx Assassin, we talked about, I was mentioning it as the action is coming on a mid lane, that it's much easier. It feels nice to play Nyx Assassin nowadays because the stun is bigger, it's better to use, and he lands a perfect 2-man stun.
Great rotation collapse in this mid lane, just playing around some of those early timings, the runes, the 8-minute rune, and we'll be giving all the space in the world for Naga Siren, who's not just farming the lane, but also the jungle at this point.
Yeah, they're getting everything, Boonz and Goonz and runes. Everything coming their way.
Well, we'll see if Reject may have a way to deny some of the farm that they're getting, deny some of those runes, but right now the pressure is now relocating to this bottom lane. 3 heroes here, and I'm not sure this level 3 Visage can do a whole lot about it.
Now that I'm looking at the draft from Boonz and Goonz, I can see some similarities. The first team comes to my mind, Team Secret. They did run Nyx Assassin plus Dawnbreaker a couple of times. For you scouting out, Dawnbreaker uses ulti. It's pretty easy, straightforward setup. Pretty difficult to miss, and Boonz, yeah, he so far pretty impressive on that Nyx Assassin.
Really dominant stuff from him, and the whole team has just been set up for success largely because of it. As Nyx and Lich smoking around the map, they're headed towards this mid lane. Lina, one hero they've yet to really get a good catch on. Still no deaths for this mid laner. Up top, they're TPing in. What's the play up here? It's just back on the Lich for now, but he's got Lord Boonz there as well with the Dawnbreaker ultimate coming in. And they're going to take out Baseball Dogs' Bloodseeker. Lord Boonz gets out of the Blood Right, gets himself back to safety, and a successful defense.
Yeah, we can see some of the issues that rejectmay are facing right now, not having too much tower damage. Visage still struggling, being level 4, almost 10 minutes into the game. Marcy, I think he's the one who did the most this time around. And yeah, looking at Naga Siren, level 8, 10 minutes into the game, those early trades that they did, really favoring Boonz and Goonz.
This Naga's definitely a problem. Almost level-wise, has everything she needs, all the space in the world, farming up whatever real estate she wants, taking over this bottom jungle, and with all the dire vision that they've set up around this area. Like, you know, she sees some of these heroes around her coming, will actually go on the aggressor.
For a solo kill.
Has the Grave Chill to boost out of there, but Lord Boonz comes in with another Impale, and that's going to probably set this kill for Zemistry.
Beautifully done by Zemistry, actually using one of the illusions to get in front of him and try to block him. Problem is, they just killed the tower as well with the Leshrac, and now the map is going to shrink. They already lost the bottom tower on side of rejectmay, so map getting smaller and smaller for them. 4K gold lead 11 minutes into the game. They don't have that playmaker. Their playmaker is pretty much Marcy, Visage at the moment, the 4 level 6, not really a hero. And yeah, Baseball Dogs, one more time, I believe that's his third or fourth death so far.
It's been a tough one. It's this Nick Stormbreaker. They started bottom with him and then they just follow him up top. Just wreaking havoc over his game and making life really difficult for the poor Japan carry player.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
They're not
attack.
done. They're still sticking around. Same bit of a trap here for Toyo on the
Another
Visage.
stun.
He's just the man on a mission, just setting up kill after kill.
All right, sign this guy.
Radiant's
Get him a
bottom
tier 1
tower
team.
is under
Get him
attack.
out of Australia. Get him to Europe. Because this Nyx Assassin performance has been on point.
Yeah.
Very involved. We can see 3-0 and 6. Involved in 9 out of 11 kills.
Very impressive stuff. He's really been the one to set the tempo. 5K gold lead 12 minutes in. That's a problem. That's not normally the size of lead you see in a game that's gonna, you know, turn out particularly close. Mid lane, they've now found another setup from Lord Boonz. The pull in from the ledge, he will manage to
Dire's
rebound
top
himself
tower
out of
is
there.
under
So
attack.
Swan gets back to safety, but it's a sign of how difficult this game is. It looks like even top lane.
Oh no, not the Veno again.
It's the Veno again.
It's always Veno. Whenever I see this hero, he either feeds or he's having a mediocre game. I don't think
Yeah.
there's anything in between.
He hasn't reached the Bloodseeker's 4 deaths yet. He's sitting on 3. He's
Make-
all 4 of their kills too.
Make Venomancer great again. Make Gale undispellable.
Couple more Boonz there. It's Alina they'd love to kill with a 2-hero impale as well. They get 1, they get 2 with
It's a
Toyo Mari
cleanup.
going down. And Naga Siren's on the chase. They want Swan.
She does have a song. We'll use it aggressively. Let's see if Bonzo can land another stun. Yes, he can.
Was there any doubt? Kill after kill going their way.
Radiant's
15
middle
kills to
tower is
4.
under attack.
Well,
This is something that we mentioned. rejectmay not having a playmaker other than this Marcy. Like, she doesn't have a hero to play with. Lina should have been that hero. Like, Bloodseeker try to make some moves around the map. And no, not again. Even with the missed stun, Venomancer's gonna melt.
Yeah, Juice is... Oh, he's alive. Juice wants to finish the deal. Another Bonzo 2-hero impale as they do end up getting the kill on the Veno in the trees. The deed is not done as Nyx Assassin oversteps. He's back in some trouble as well with the chain throws bouncing around.
Bounces.
Oh, Lina barely survived. Swan almost brings it back to the Lina, but Juice is still in the trees. TN finishes them off. Jandals is low with the Rupture. He's holding his ground, and one more Soul Assumption will finish him off. So a decent fight in the end for rejectmay. They're getting a couple of kills here, but Juice is causing
Still
problems.
not done. I like the way he moved. He first managed to find Venomancer, finish him off
Radiant's
in the
bottom
trees,
tower
then
is
goes
under
off
attack.
from the trees, finishes off Lina, but not too bad of a fight for rejectmay, showing some signs of life, being able to take down Leshrac and both supports.
Yep. See there, the gold unfortunately still not the greatest for them. They lost their juicy cores and things continue to overall look in a pretty grim place for them, and these items are coming online soon. You see there, Juice with his BKB.
And not messing around this time. He understands, I get a BKB, I'm having a free fight. I don't need to care about any of the spells other than Rupture, and I don't think he's gonna be the target for Rupture. You need to be able to control this Leshrac. Leshrac with the Bloodstone, extremely difficult to deal with. I think the way they wanted to counter this Leshrac was having Venomancer build into Spirit Vessel. We saw different ways, like having...
Dire's top tower
I think
is
that the
under
best
attack.
one that I've seen was Tundra with Tidehunter, having this pipe right back. Like,
Yeah.
he even went for Mage Slayer, just to be able to reduce damage as much as possible from Leshrac.
haven't been able to have a good enough early game to farm all these items. I mean, they'd love to have a way to negate some of what Leshrek's doing, but at this point, it's not just the Leshrek you got to worry about, it's the other hero who hasn't even shown up in this game, Naga Siren. 4-0-2, which is a decent score. I mean, a lot of those kills come in the late stage, but Naga's just been playing PvE.
Yeah, this is pretty much 4 versus 5 at this point. It's Naga Siren being hero that's gonna... Oh, another good one.
Chain Frost 2.
It comes down to vision. They do have sentry ward a little bit more to the east, southeast, if you want to call it, but didn't scout the next assassin rotation.
3, 1, and 13 on this Nyx Assassin. Having a hell of a game. And they've just got complete map control, even with Radiant wards, like at their triangle, as well as in the bottom jungle there. Unable to stop any of this Aussie aggression.
Yeah, they're just all over the place right now, losing towers left and right. This is a tier 2 tower, immediately running to outpost to be able to take out some of the experience that's gonna come in clutch. Like, these are not big numbers, but still. And look at Bonzo. Bonzo, Magic Wand, Tranquil Boost. These are his items, but he did manage to make so much done at these early stages of the game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I would assume that there is like a casual wind lace in there somewhere to have extra movement speed, run across the map to help out. Ledge even using his ability to pull the bird, kill it, free gold.
Is under attack.
Does have to resummon, but it's gonna be careful now. They're being hunted in this top lane. They can't access this Radiant triangle. They do have the vision there. They have got that ward. They know kind of what's going on here. And for the most part, they're just doing a good job of playing keep away and not giving up more kills.
We missed this one, but yeah, Juice is on fire.
You see a 99% win probability, and we're just 18 minutes in with a full Orchid on Zemistry's Naga Siren coming out.
That's the build these days, being able to join these early fights, control heroes pre-BKB, or when the BKB is down, going for the solo pickoffs on the supports when they show on the side lanes. It's very difficult to deal with.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I love what this Ven is doing. He's set up. They know he's there. They just killed a courier. Okay, TP's out. He's just been farming in this dire jungle. He's like, okay, there's nowhere safe for me, so let's go in the most unexpected place on the map.
Inside the Roche pit they go. This is going to be a freebie, what it seems, because they are showing on the bottom lane, taking the outpost, also scouting them out with this Observer on the high ground. The 2 heroes showed, I believe Visage also showed as well. If they just don't have the tools to deal with this Naga Siren right now. I see Zemistry queuing up the Heart of Tarask as his 3rd item, being able to just soak up any kind of damage, make his illusions tankier, which means more damage. Yeah, I think this also Falcon Blade on Baseball Dogs is did set him up for I'd say a slower game, where the hero, as we mentioned, does not provide, like, doesn't need that much mana regen to farm up. It's all about the right clicks, and Juice pretty much going for a solo kill. Next Assassin still there to be able to secure the kill, but overall Juice on fire throughout the whole game.
Even getting the extra kills on one bird and likely the second. He's already used the Stone Remnant, so easy pick up there. He's bird hunting, and they've not done. They're also bloodseeker. Are misstun Boonz? His first misstun of the game, it feels like. But nonetheless, they'll get the kill.
This is what we talked about, having this Orchid available to be able to just burst people down with the illusions. Leshrak even TP'd with Boots of Travel.
Radiant's top tower is under
Feels like
attack.
they're all on the same page. Once again, this Venno is set up in the enemy jungle. Every time I look at this mini-map, I'm like, oh, what's Venno up to? He's chilling.
Venno,
like,
always up to feeding,
Radiant's
always
top
up
tower
to
has fallen.
something nasty.
yeah. This reminds me of the KBBQ Venno. Just jungling it up. He's half asleep at his keyboard. And then every now and then you're going to
Radiant's
shake him
middle
awake like,
tower
dude, you're
is
in a
under
Dota
attack.
game, you know?
That's what Venno is all about.
Unfortunately, not a big that's worked out for...
When's the last time you saw Venomancer winning the game? I actually can't remember.
There's probably one or two at TI, but they were heavily outnumbered by the games the hero lost.
Or the time when Hero was not picked.
Yeah. And the thing is, the losses
Radiant's
are so
middle
glaringly
tower is
bad.
under
Like when
attack.
Venno loses, it looks awful.
It's very easy to blame Venomancer for the
Yeah.
loss. And on to the tier 3 tower they go.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're going high ground, and the defense is just not really there. They're not in position to come and deal with this. Naga Illusions as well as Edict just getting this tier 3 tower down nice and low.
Radiant's middle
Back
tower
off for
is
now.
under
This
attack.
is where Venno has to shine. Come back and defend with the Plague Wards.
This is his time. Do or die right now. Most of the time it's die. For Venomancer, we need to call it die or die. He has two options.
Cool.
None of them look good.
That to me is always like being the issue with the hero. You're kind of a turtle hero. Like Plague Wards is dispel that turtles, but at the same time, Venno's an early game hero. Like that you pick from the lane. So there's like
If
this.
you turtle long enough, you become a late game hero. That's the thing about Venno.
Needs that Midas. That's what I'm hearing.
Now I'm thinking about it, doesn't sound like a bad of an idea anymore.
I mean, this game, why not? You're playing your 5 position better way. You gotta get some Midas in there. They're smoked up. They're looking to make a play here. Dawnbreaker
Radiant's
down this
top
bottom lane is
tower
just
is under
hard
attack.
to get because of the BKB as well as the Aghanim Shard. Said it. Oh no.
Oh no, it's him again. We've seen this movie before.
Yeah. It's, we don't talk about Bruno of Dota. We don't talk about Venno as another death goes the way for rejectmay's Venno player.
I don't know how they feel about closing out this game. Maybe they're given a bit too much respect to Venomancer, his high ground defense.
He's dead though. This is the time.
He's dead. Go, go, go. 15 seconds. Let's do this, boys.
Get the tower and back.
Radiant's structures are fortified.
Okay, alright. Gets the Leshrac low. He has got the age to play around him with the jump on Marcy. Boonz does himself a bit on the high ground here, but they're looking to poke and prod back in with a haste rune. I think Jam's a lot of mobility, but
Still 40 seconds left on that Aegis. Another Edict is
Radiant's
available.
top tower
Venabirds
is under
plus
attack.
Venomancer wards. Very annoying, but another great stun with the connection.
2 heroes stun into a follow-up, and Juice has to back off here. Has the BKB TP out. The physical damage is a lot. It's just not quite enough. And while all that's going on, Naga was split pushing both mid and top, so it does look
Radiant's
like
top tower is
they're
under
getting some good
attack.
damage in. They lost
Yeah,
the Nyx
good-
Assassin, but
Good old split push. It's been a while since I saw someone being able to split push as efficiently. Like usually it does get punished. You do have a jump, but yeah, we see why Australian team did not want to go in and commit heavily, because you do have, I believe that's a pipe on Venomancer reducing some of their damage, and yeah, they just smoked. They're looking for something. Bottom lane is not pushed. Someone needs to address this one.
left Bloodseeker behind, so I guess the job is his. But that means they're playing 4v5 potentially for this smoke play. So right now, Boonz and Goonz are split up around the map here. So if they find somebody, they should be able to get a quick kill. Sid runs forward, but pops out of the smoke, and that's been scouted out. It's been pinged immediately, and
Makes game very difficult. You don't have that instant jump. You don't have that instant stun. If you see Marcy flying out, like she also needs something to rebound off. Difficult task to execute compared to what the Australian team has. Like having this Nyx Assassin from the Invis, and yeah, one more time. How many deaths is that? I stopped count. 6. That's not too high.
how cruel observers left it on the screen, you know.
Yeah, they did that on purpose.
I'm amazed you were in.
Meanwhile, Dawnbreaker, 11, 0, and 10. Been quite the one-sided game so far. It's all the high ground defense now. 21k down. You're thinking we just could try go late game.
I don't know if they want to wait for another Roche. I think that's the safe play. It's the BO1s we're talking about here.
I wonder if they know how far ahead they are. I think a lot of teams would be. Obviously, this is, you know, some of these teams at this tournament are not teams who have that big, international competitive Dota experience. So definitely don't mind the idea of them just playing things safely here.
It's gonna get even more difficult. This Naga Siren, you don't have a hero that deals well with the illusions. Your lanes are constantly pushed. You don't have a heroes to gank with. You're pretty much stuck at defending your own base. That's your only plan. They did try to smoke, but then realized it's a difficult task to execute.
And the Naga just puts so much pressure on the map. Anytime you're gonna smoke up, all your lanes are being pushed in. Not to mention the illusions giving vision.
Oh, Lina even pops a BKB a bit prematurely there.
Tried to cast it on her teammate.
She heard Nyx Assassin using stun. It's like, oh,
Yeah, the audio
better
too.
safe than
Radiant's
sorry.
top tower is under attack.
Yep.
Testing it out. It works for the next fight.
Yep. No doubts about that. But we'll have to wait for that little bit of a cooldown. As right now, I mean, they just have
All three lanes.
Yeah.
Look at
Radiant's
where
top
they're
tower
standing
is
gods
under attack.
in their base.
your entire, I mean, all the jungle being farmed out by
Radiant's top
Naga
tower is
illusions
falling.
and just dire heroes too. Like, they don't have to bring the heroes, they just use the illusions to push out these waves. This is where Benno needs to find a way to sneak out and get back into that dire jungle.
Yeah, sneak in that Hand of Midas somehow. Try to go for the ultra late game plan.
Get 3 items here, plus looks like Zem is close to
It's just a butterfly out of nowhere. Roshan respawn. This is the fast Roshan. It's gonna get scouted.
Oh, bottom, they've gone for a jump. They don't have Naga, but no problem once again. Oh, poor Benno. It's been a rough one.
Record that on your phone right now, poor Winnow, because I feel like you're gonna be able to play this a couple more times during this game.
Make my job easier. Just copy paste. Honestly gets left alive as the buyback is going to cause some problems here. The BKB TP out with the Rupture, and there's nothing to cancel it. The physical damage not enough, and they want to turn this one around.
They're ready to
Loses.
go back in. Dawnbreaker still
Yeah.
has ulti available.
They're split pushing both mid and top as well, so there's a lot of problems to be addressed here for Team Japan. Nice Visage Bird Stun gets Boonz' Nyx Assassin away, but the damage has been done. Top lane's just dead.
Gone.
They lost Rax.
They don't have the tools to deal with this Naga Siren. Let's see if they go in and decide to take this Roche. Venomancer did buy back in the previous fight. So next time he dies, that's a good thing. He won't be able to die for almost 90 seconds.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Only feeds so much.
Yes.
There's a limit. There.
It's a good thing to buy back, actually, if you're feeding a lot.
Yeah, makes sense. So those people in your game who just run it down mid and then buy back, it's actually helping you.
good.
Yeah, you want them to buy back.
Let's see how rejectmay is going to address this. If it's going to be one of those desperation smokes, but mega creeps on top lane, super creeps, pushing things in, also having 2 Naga Siren illusions approaching. Lashrak will pick up both Aegis and the shard, so makes fights even more difficult having that. Oh, where's it? Oh, he does have a shard. Never mind, that's blind.
Just pulls it in with the blink dagger and he is good to go. I mean, you see there, it was 100% win probability like 5
Now it's
minutes ago.
150. Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I don't think there's coming back into this one.
It's the writing's on the wall. They'll play it out. I mean, there is still the lower bracket, so they're not completely out of it just yet. But it does look like a potentially good start.
This is it.
Radiant's
One more
bottom
fight,
barracks are
and
under
after that, we are probably gonna know who won this game. Even though it says 100%, which is technically incorrect if you make a comeback from 100% win game. I think I saw Grubby the other day losing 100% win rate game.
Oh. Well, that was the OG at TI, 100% win rate.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Back in the day. It's happened at a TI itself, so maybe rejectmay's having dreams about playing this one out as if they're OG. And right now, the split push, all 3 lanes being shoved, Naga Siren just sending illusion, not committing to any of these lanes, and they're not even killing heroes, they're just slowly whittling away these buildings, daring rejectmay to make some kind of move to fight into them.
See seeing this gigantic split earth, and also Dawnbreaker with the BKB charges, with their shard, being able, because again, you do have enough time to use your abilities, pop your BKBs. They're gonna go on last rank.
As an Aegis though, there'll be a second life if they can even deal with the first. With the heal from the Dawnbreaker, Jandals does finally go down, but at the cost of the Venom's life, they'll get the Lich with the Bloodseeker charging forward
Here
to
comes
BKB.
Naga,
And,
the
yep,
cleanup.
it's cleanup city. Leshrac will finish them all off, and that should be all over Red Rover for Japan here, as they've lost 4, only Marcy left standing, and they're gonna chase her down as well. No mercy. Oh, into the fountain. She's out. Okay, doesn't need mercy. She's got the moves.
Mercy herself, she doesn't need any mercy, and they're gonna call it.
Yeah.
35k gold lead to end this one. Pretty one-sided. They did have some moves, like lanes didn't go, I guess, as they expected. They try to bring this Visage position 5. Didn't bring too much in the laning stage. Like, didn't really feel the influence of the hero. Top lane also getting countered by this Naga Siren. Mid lane was, I think Lina was farming nicely, but yeah, Boonz and Goonz taking the W in this one. Some really nice performance by this Dawnbreaker, not dying a single time. Juice completely dominating the game, and yeah, Zemistry as well on Naga Siren. Also uncontested. Like, you could feel that the game was getting out of control really quickly. After they lost a couple of heroes on the bottom, Bloodseeker didn't manage to get his item timings, and also this position 5 Visage, as we mentioned, not getting level 6, I believe 13, 14 minutes into the game.
It's always a good game when you can kind of highlight multiple players who really absolutely play things pretty flawlessly. Like you mentioned, Dawnbreaker, the Naga, the Nyx was making plays all around the map. It's a good sign moving forward when they verse maybe some of the stiffer competition that everybody seems to be playing their A game. So as far as what you saw from the others, do you think they can actually compete with some of the the top SEA teams who are here? Your SMGs, your Polaris.
These are best of ones. I think they have a pretty good chance, considering what I just saw. They don't look like one of those stacks. They do play like a team. Moves that they make around the map, how they itemize, it's pretty straightforward. It's what top tier Dota is about, and they're getting their ideas somewhere. We did mention Team Secret, like this Nyx Dawnbreaker combo, but yeah, you can pick whatever you see other teams picking. It's about the execution, and the execution in this game was very crisp.
Yeah, and it's something I know from talking to some of the guys, from talking to Danong, their coach. They were scrimming and stuff coming in. They were looking at this as like a chance to really represent Australia on an international level, something that Oz Dota players don't get to do very often. It's amazing that some of these Asia Pacific tournaments, like what Predator's doing here, are bringing them in. And already, off to a good start. This is, maybe an opponent who's not going to be one of the top teams here, but even from the rejectmay side, what did you see from them? What do you feel like they have to need to do moving forward to get some better results?
Yeah, I feel like they just overthought the draft, how it needs to be played out. Some of these lane counters, like something specific, picking this Venomancer early on. I think they have some good ideas. They're sticking to what they know, what they feel comfortable, but maybe shift things around a little bit in the next one.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we get a new look from Team Japan later on in the day in some of their future matches. But there's a lot more Dota coming up. We've got more teams playing. I think we'll see more of the squad we just saw as well later in the day. But yeah, great sign of things to come. Not quite the hype close match we'll hope.
No, it was pretty one-sided, to be completely honest. But maybe they learn couple of things from this match and they show up better in the next one.
Yeah, they are the home team, of course, so something where we hope we get to see that bounce back. And as far as, you mentioned some of the heroes and picks that the Aussies were doing, like the Nyx Dawnbreaker. Do you feel like, there was, for the most part, pretty standard stuff when it came to the picks?
Absolutely, there was pretty meta heroes that they picked. They didn't go for anything unusual, and they did what these heroes are supposed to do, like moving around the map, going for the item timings, and also showing some big signs of discipline, I would say. Like not pushing, not overextending, waiting for second rows to respawn to close it out.
Good sign. I think we might be heading to a break soonish, maybe not quite yet, as we'll wait to hear the cue there. But yeah, well, we also having an interview, I think, with one of the players from the winning team from Australia. You know, impressed by Aussie Dota, sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, the only one that I know was pretty much you, that I played a long time ago. Yeah, there are a couple of TI winners out there, but one specifically. But yeah, it's good. I didn't get much chance to watch them play, and so far very impressed.
All right, well, with that, we're done with our first game. Let's quickly watch a recap of the match, and then we'll be back with an interview. See you soon. All right, we're here now with Boonz and Goonz on the main stage. Congratulations, guys. A pretty convincing start to things. We've got all of you up here, so I'll try to get all a chance to speak. But Spag, you're sitting here next to me standing. How do you think? Welcome to Japan. How was the first game for you?
First game was great. I mean, I think we prepared well, and we executed how we wanted to, and we're obviously very happy with how things turned out. So.
Any surprises that kind of came your way with what the Japan team was picking or doing in these games?
Not necessarily. I think we had a look at their profiles and stuff and sort of sussed out what we thought they might do, and yeah, I think we had a pretty good read on the situation, I would say.
Cool. This is obviously a rare chance for an Australian team to kind of come compete at international level. So you next in line. What's it kind of mean to you to get a chance to kind of come compete internationally when often, being from Australia, you're just kind of stuck competing in your own region?
Yeah, to us, it's an amazing opportunity for all of us. TI calls are very, very difficult to go through for us, from playing with Ping, playing with all these other professional teams competing. So this is a chance for us to shine in the international scene and for everyone to see how we are.
Great to hear. I'll ask some of the back row. Boonz, I see you back there, old friend of mine. How was that? Pretty good next game. How do you think you did?
Nah, I didn't have 100% stun rate. I think it was pretty terrible.
You missed one at the end. I was surprised when you missed that.
Yeah, no, I missed like 3 in total. I'm really not happy with myself.
So we'll expect better in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you think your team did, though?
Yeah, I think everyone like really killed it, actually. They expected from this guy right here, Juice. yeah. Sorry. We're going by your names that you show up there. Flawless game on the Dawnbreaker. What's it like for you here in Japan? You enjoying yourself after a good win? Yeah, it feels good.
And any new big strats prepared? Obviously, this was maybe not one of the strongest opposition that you're going to be facing here, but when it comes to versing, some of the top teams in SEA, how do you think you're going to fare there? Or Boonz, since let's hear from Boonz then.
In all honesty, we sort of just vibe out with the draft. We don't really have strats. We sort of just see a hero, and people just say, "Oh yeah, I reckon this hero is pretty good here."
That's good to hear. And any does sound the NRS we didn't get a chance to talk as well. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Anything you'd like to say before we go to a break?
No, we're just happy to be here. And we'll play to Japan.
Awesome. Well, sorry for giving you the worst of all the questions, but we are going to be going to a break. Our next match is going to be Lil Gun versus Grindski Esports. That's going to be at 2:30 p.m., 14:30 local time here in Japan. So we'll see you there. Thanks, everybody, and stick around.